So today I am going to focus another topic known as accommodation. It comes under the one of the quality or property of a eye to adjust when a person shift from distance vision to near vision. So what is accommodation? It is nothing but adjustment of eye. So it is the eye adjustment. You can define as eye adjustment from distant to near vision. So again I am telling what is accommodation. It is nothing but adjustment of our eye. When a person changes his vision from distance to near. So it is the adjustment of eye as a person shift his vision from distance to near. So there are various type of changes that will occur. 2 to 3 changes that may occur in the eye in response to the accommodation. And we have to know what are the accommodation changes. Number 1 is increase in the anterior curvature of lens. Then pupillary constriction. And number 3, so these are the changes that occurs in the eye in response to an accommodation when a person changes his vision from distance to near. So number 1 is increase in the anterior curvature of lens. Number 2 is pupillary constriction. So what is pupillary? What is pupils? Pupils means is the aperture between the two cilia of the eye, and that this pupillary aperture size is responsible to accommodate the amount of light that enters into the eye. So that's why pupillary constriction will occur in response to the person change his vision from distance to the near one. Means when person changes his vision from distance to a near one, the pupil will constrict. That's why amount of light entering into the eye is less. So pupillary aperture is responsible for controlling the amount of light entering into the lens. And once the pupillary constriction is there, it will decrease the amount of light entering into the eye. So that is the main mechanism. Number 3 is convergence of the eyeball. So these are the 3 mechanisms. Now let's see, before going to the mechanism behind that, you should know what is the pathway and why it is happening. So before going into the pathway, we will explain why it is happening. Why there is anterior curvature of lens. So anterior curvature of lens means this is the eye. So this is the eyeball. This is the eyeball. This is the cornea. This is the lens. These are suspensory ligaments. So these are cilia. And this is the pupil. This is the anterior curvature. This is the cornea. So when the anterior curvature of lens increase, it means what? If the lens become increased like this, what will happen? If the anterior curvature of lens increase means the convergence power of the lens will increase. Means it will try to converge more diverging rays that is coming from the near object, and so that the light after being convergent falls on the retina. The main motto is that when a person sees a distant vision, means a parallel rays of light are coming, but the person already shift his vision from distance to near one. The object has come from distance to near one. Now the object is very much near to the eye. That's why the rays of light coming out from the object will not be parallel. It will be divergent now. Can you understand? So when the object shift from distance to near one, it will now shift the nature of light coming out from the object. So now the nature of the light coming out from the near object will be divergent nature of light. That's why the light coming out from the near object will be divergent. Now that's why lens somehow has to converge this light on the retina. That's why it has increased the anterior curvature of the lens, so that it increases the more convergent power of the lens, and so that the divergent group of light that is coming from the near object, it will be converged on the retina. So this is the near, and now the rays will be divergent, so that now it has to fall on the retina. That's why the anterior curvature of lens has been increased, and this is because of contraction of various lens ligaments, and because of that this mechanism happens. Next one is pupillary constriction. Pupillary constriction occurs because of the ciliary muscles, or which control the aperture of the pupil, and here the pupillary constriction will decrease the amount of light entering into the eye. As the object comes from distance to the near vision, now the amount of light coming out from the object is very much more high. That's why to prevent the damage of the eye from the near vision object, that's why the pupillary size has been decreased, so that amount of light entering into the eye is less. So this is an adjusting mechanism when your vision changes from far to the near one. Then convergence of the eyeball. The eyeball also should converge. That is very much important, because convergence of the eyeball is also responsible for making the light, divergent group of light coming out from the object, to fall on the retina. So these are the various three changes that occurs in response to the accommodation, and this comes under accommodation reflex. Now what is the pathway? Now we will discuss the pathway. Now light will fall on the retina, and it will be taken to the visual cortex, which is area number 17. Then it will be transferred by association fibers to frontal eye field, which is area number 8. From there it will go to internal capsule, then midbrain, then third cranial nerve nucleus, also known as Edinger then it will go to from the third cranial nerve or Edinger Westphal nucleus, the impulse will go to extraocular muscle, especially medial rectus, and this will ultimately pass the stimulus to the parasympathetic nervous system, and ultimately it will supply the ciliary body and pupil and lens ligaments. So again I am telling, when the light falls on the retina, it will pass the information to the visual cortex, which is nothing but area number 17. From area number 17 through association fibers, the impulse will carry to the frontal eye field, which is area number 8. From the area number 8, through it will travel to internal capsule. From internal capsule, it will travel to midbrain. Midbrain is one of the important area where all the fibers of the vision is integrated. From midbrain and contain various cranial nerve nuclei also. So one of the cranial nerve nuclei is third cranial nerve nuclei, and part of it is known as Edinger Westphal nuclei. So it will be stimulated, and from there it will stimulate the extraocular muscle, especially medial rectus muscle. So medial rectus muscle is responsible for the convergence of the eyeball. So it is responsible for convergence of the eyeball. From the extraocular muscle, it will stimulate the parasympathetic nervous pathway or parasympathetic pathway. Ultimately, it will stimulate the ciliary body, pupils, and some lens ligament. So, ciliary body and pupil, when this pupil, even all of you know, when pupil will stimulate it, it is responsible for pupillary constriction, and ciliary body with contraction is responsible for the maintenance of the aperture of the pupil. Can you understand? And so these are the this is the pathway of the accommodation. Now we will see what is the mechanism behind the responses that is occurring. So number one is anterior curvature of lens. The anterior curvature of lens increases because contraction of ciliary group of muscle or lens ligaments. So contraction of ciliary group of muscle and ciliary muscle. Contraction of ciliary muscle is responsible for increasing the anterior curvature of lens. Now pupillary constriction is also responsible for, because of aiding parasympathetic nervous system. I told you pupillary constriction is mediated by parasympathetic nervous system, which is mediated by a third nerve nuclei or Erringen-Westphal nuclei. So pupillary constriction is because of constriction of the pupil. It occurs because of parasympathetic pathway, and which is mediated by a third cranial nerve nuclei or Erringen-Westphal nuclei. And third mechanism, convergence of the eyeball, is because of stimulation of the medial rectus muscle. So all of you know these are the three important mechanisms. Number one is anterior curvature of lens, and it occurs because of contraction of ciliary muscle. Number two is pupillary constriction. This occurs via third cranial nerve nuclei, and convergence of the eyeball occurs because of contraction of extraocular muscle, that is medial rectus. Now out of these three, this is called the accommodation response, and remaining two, these are called near response. So accommodation reflex is of two types: accommodation response and near response. So increasing the anterior curvature of lens is called accommodation response, and the other two, pupillary constriction and convergence of the eye, is called near response. So these are the three important changes that is going to occur in case of accommodation. So again I am telling what is accommodation is nothing but an adjustment of the eye when a person changes his vision from distant vision to near vision. And there are three important changes that is going to happen. Number one is increase in the anterior curvature of lens. Number two is increase in the pupillary constriction. And number three is convergence of the eyeball. Now increase in anterior curvature of lens is because of, what is because of? It is because of changes in the strength of the ciliary muscle and lens ligament. So constriction or contraction of the lens ligament and ciliary muscle is responsible for anterior curvature of lens. Pupillary constriction is because of pupillary constriction of the pupil, and it is controlled by third nerve nucleus or Erringen-Westphal nucleus. And convergence of the eyeball is because of medial rectus muscle, which is it's a type of extraocular muscle and responsible for adjustment of the eyeball in response to the near vision. And that is the ultimate pathway for the accommodation reflex. What is that reflex? So when light falls on the retina, that it takes the information to the visual cortex and through optic nerve. There it is analyzed at the area number 17, and through association fibers it passes the impulse to the frontal eye field, which is area number 8. From there, via internal capsule, midbrain, it stimulates the third cranial nerve nuclei, and third cranial nerve nuclei via stimulates the extraocular muscle and stimulate the medial rectus muscle, and which contracts the medial rectus muscle, and contraction of medial rectus muscle is responsible for eye movement, eyeball convergence. And once there is eyeball convergence, there is it passes the information through parasympathetic to the ciliary body, pupil, lens ligament, and which is responsible for pupillary constriction and anterior curvature of lens increased. So this is the pathway by which accommodation occurs in human beings. Now another important PG entrance question is, what is the importance of this third nerve nucleus? So Erringen-Westphal nucleus is associated with accommodation reflex. So today here I am going to finish, and it may be very much important for your exam purpose. Thank you very much.